Hello there and greetings. My name is Son of Terra 92 and I am a very concerned human being. This is my first video for my channel, which will be known as Sentience is a Gift. It is the first video in what I hope to be a long series of videos that will be dealing with the subject matter of popular science, technology, and the development of human civilization. Now, I've been meaning to do this channel for quite a while now, drawing on influences from other notable YouTube popular science vlogger Saul Rosenberg 84, you should go check him out, and from watching the research channel. I've also been inspired to establish this channel from reading various books and articles by the leading intellectual minds of our time, such as Professor Michio Kaku, Neil deGrasse Tyson, and even Stephen Hawking. These were the people that really sparked my interest to go into popular science. Now, for the target audience of my channel, it will be aimed at a general audience, so anyone who's interested can just drop in and listen. Don't forget to leave comments down below and voice out their opinions on the discussions that we will be having. As far as the content is concerned, I'll be acquiring the information for these discussions from various books and articles, and some of the topics that we might be discussing might range from astronomy, physics, and maybe even social sciences. Now, I'm a bit of an amateur futurist actually, so sometimes the discussions might be dealing on the ramifications or the indirect consequences of an action, and you, the viewers, will be able to voice out down below whether you think it's justifiable or not justifiable. Now, how I got into popular science, it was actually 2 to 3 years ago. Me and a friend were walking through a bookstore in Kuala Lumpur. He was looking for a poetry book by William Blake, and then we were passing by the popular science section when he took a book off the shelf, handed it to me, and recommended that I read it. So I went along with his plan, bought the book and took it home and read it. That's where my journey began. That's where it all started. I grew an interest in the public understanding of science and the making of sciences more accessible to the general public at large. You could call it science literacy. Yes, that's the word for it. So some of you might know what the book is. It's Carl Sagan's Cosmos. I'm pretty sure a lot of you out there were inspired by this book too. So because this is my first video, I'm not going to go into any of the discussions in particular. Instead, I'm going to take this opportunity to lay down the ground rules and explain a bit how my channel is going to work. Now, this channel is going to be geared at being more discussion oriented. Okay, so I'm going to put out a topic. For example, it might be civilizations, or it might be space colonization, and you guys will post your comments below and I will try my best to respond to these comments. Okay, so in my videos I'll try not to touch on any particularly sensitive issues such as the ongoing debate between creationism and natural selection. I know how sensitive this particular argument can get, so I'll try to keep my hands off that whole religion thing. I am a theist, by the way. That means I do believe in God. So because the primary focus of this channel will be on science, a lot of the information will be derived from various articles, research, observation, and scientific findings of our times. But maybe I might try to use science fiction as a way to set an understandable example. Say, for example, we might be discussing the concepts and theories behind an experimental technology. I am a major space enthusiast, by the way. So a lot of the discussions might be involving space colonization, space exploration, and the future of humanity throughout the stars. The future of humanity throughout the stars. Now, because we have a little bit of extra time left, I'm going to go into a short discussion here, just a very short one. Here's the question to all you viewers out there if you're watching. What do you think is the most influential development in all of human civilization? Now, it could be a technological development, it could be an intellectual development, and it could even be a social or cultural change. Put your ideas down below and don't forget to support it with your opinion. Say if you think it's the Industrial Revolution or the Renaissance, explain why. What do I think? As for me, I think it's the end of World War II and the ushering in of the atomic age. Now hold on a sec here. This event might sound pessimistic and insignificant when compared to the whole scale of human history, but listen, let's think about this for a moment. Never before in any other age than this the atomic age have world leaders of particular ethnic or government groups been able to come together and make decisions as a whole, like a conglomerate. Globalization is the word for it. And what was it that sparked this need for unification? It was the tears and sorrows felt at the end of the Second World War. It was the fear that if we don't come together and make the decisions as a whole, we would only end up breaking and shattering upon each other as insignificant pieces. Now, I could go on to the whole matter of how fear is a better motivator than curiosity, but that's a whole issue entirely. Maybe in a future video I'll be exploring that. But scientists believe that the integration of cultures into a single ruling planetary system is one of the steps we need to make in order to make the transition from a type 0 civilization to a type 1. Now, scientists also believe that it is during this transitional phase that we as a civilization are the most vulnerable. Ladies and gentlemen, this brings me to my second point. You see, from the beginning, ever since thousands of years ago, humankind has been at war, both externally and internally. On the inside, we've been fighting against our fears and suspicions, against people who are different from us, our intolerance of strangers. The late Professor Carl Sagan actually put it quite eloquently by saying that we've grown up with hereditary propensities for violence. So, what this means is that these suspicions towards another clan or tribe is what sparks the rage and violence for external conflict. Now, external conflict is the one that most people are familiar with, the one fought on land, sea, and air with machines and nuclear weapons and such. You see, what makes us so vulnerable isn't whether we choose to fight or not fight these wars, it's the tools that we have at our disposal, the toys that we have to play with. See, I'd like to quote from another quote from the late US Army General Omar Bradley, saying that ours is a world of nuclear giants and ethical infants. See, we know more about war than we know about peace, more about killing than we know about living. So you could just imagine one wrong move and our civilization could be sent into oblivion with no hope of seeing the light of progress ever again. So, all in all, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to conclude by saying that it's about us, okay? It's about the people, 100 years from now, our descendants who might or might not live in space will look back onto this generation and say, they were the ones. They did it. They were able to avoid the disaster. Or, after the ash settles and the remnants of humanity picks itself up from the dust, and they would say, they were the ones. They could have done it, but they didn't. So, it is the people of this age, this atomic age, that will decide. We play the pivotal role of building the future. And this is one of the primary themes that I will be exploring in my channel. So stick around, stay tuned if you're interested. Thanks for watching, folks, and I will see you in the next video.